Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great day. If you're in the Discord, you definitely had a great day, I'm pretty sure, because we crushed it. We absolutely destroyed it every which way in the Discord. Market was looking good for everything we were looking at and doing in there. So let's take a look and see what we're going to be getting into tomorrow. So here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this evening? Let's go ahead and click on over. There's our heat map right there. So let's see what's going on in our market. So here we go. Let's see what's happening here, everybody. And let's see. ONDS, that was a cruiser today. So all these bad boys that we've been looking at, talking about getting set up, looking good. They were cruising along today, looking nice. Look at these bad boys. They were dipped down there at 2 o'clock. Great opportunity again for ONDS right there. And got flying back up at the end of the day. Definitely a good one right there. So keep an eye on that one tomorrow. That's for sure. And that is your ONDS. And like I said, there's a lot of great setups going in. So here we are. Let's just cruise right through. We'll see what's going on, everybody, and see what's happening with the market. Open door. That was up today, bouncing back up. We'll have to see what it really wants to do. You can see it hitting the 20 to 50 right there. And we'll see if it really can get bouncing through and get crossed up. I'm not so sure, but we'll see. It will get set up. You can see it's just going to take a little bit of time right there. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And that is your open door right there in QMCO. Let's see what that is doing right here. Here we go, a Quantum Corp, and these guys are looking pretty good. Your quantum and computer hardware ones. So let's take a look and see what they are all up to. And you know that list that we look at was looking pretty good today. Here's your RGTI. Let's see what it's up to. RGTI, if I could type it in. And I forgot to hit that up there. There we go. You can probably hear me now. And there's RGTI right there. And look at that bad boy up 15% today, like we were talking about last night. They were looking good. So let's go through our list and see what they're up to. QUBT, that quantum computing, and that was up 12%, 12.5, looking really nice right there. And then your QBTS, that D-Wave quantum, and that was flying up. So we did say that these guys were going to be moving, and they certainly are. And then, of course, your Defiance quantum ETF, that's running up as well. QSI looking pretty decent today. You can see that one cruising along. IONQ running right up there, looking really nice. And then you had your RCAT cruising along as well. And even Z Space was not doing anything. So there you go. And yeah, it had been jumping around today, but it was never really up. And there you go. It was pretty much down right there. And that one is such an interesting one, Z Space. And what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's December 5th. Look at that. That's when it basically opened. Look, last year, December 5th, and that was 2024. And so there you go. That's where it's at now. That's where it was last year. It opened at 580 and it got up to 32 something. And now today it's at 41 cents. Quite interesting, huh, for Z Space there. But anyway, let's take a look and see what else is going on. You have your UNH, and that was pulling back there. And Oscar right here is your OSC. I don't even know what I'm typing, but OSCR up a little bit. It was just bouncing around today, not really doing a whole lot yet, but we'll see if these guys can really get set up. They're in a channel right there, and we'll keep an eye on them. And, of course, our Trump company, crypto, whatever they are, ABTC, American Bitcoin Corp, and this one took that huge dip the other day when I guess they said they were going to have a private placement, and then I don't know what happened today. It says Trump family-backed companies are being left behind as crypto recovers. So there you go. Look at that report from somebody, Barron's, I guess that says. I have no idea. And the Trump name isn't what it used to be on Wall Street, I guess, Investopedia. And so, yeah, kind of interesting. You know what I said. We're not getting into these things until the very last second if we do. And they're just interesting to look at. You have to assume that they're going to want to run, being that they're Trump company, crypto companies, and his kids are involved. But we'll see what happens with them. I mean, people are making articles like they're not going to do anything. Pew right here was curling up yesterday, I remember, and just up a little bit today. Nothing too crazy there. And CPL was just the one that was looking decent yesterday, and I think it dipped right back down. Look at that thing pulling back, or was it PSQH? One of these was looking good. I forget which one it was, to be honest with you. maybe it was. Oh yeah, it was this one. PSQH just was running up yesterday, and it ran up a little bit right there. Good evening, Janica. How are you doing? And let's see what else is going on. So that's the Trump company, crypto companies right there. And let's go ahead and look at our crypto treasuries and see what they're up to. BMNR was up today, almost 8%, looking really good. I mean, that thing looks great going into tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So we'll obviously be keeping an eye on crypto and that Ethereum. That's the big Ethereum one right there. And then you also have your SBET right here. And that was looking pretty decent as well, up 5%, looking pretty nice to go into tomorrow. As long also for SBET. No, I didn't do SMX. I was going to do that one towards the end there. Janica. Yeah, that one went crazy. So I figured we'd just look at that in a little bit. But SBET right here, look at this bad boy getting set up as well. And then you have your UPXI, and that's the Solana one. And this one's also getting set up. So you also have this one getting ready to set up, get cruising right here. So you might want to keep an eye on all them crypto treasury ones. You know, we look at them in ORBS right here. Not looking too bad today, up 5%. The rest of them were running up as well, curling up. I think it bottomed out down here, to be completely honest, which I do think that crypto is going to get rolling. We've talked about it, trying to get back into that bullish trend again and get cruising. So I do think you're trying to see that, and these guys are trying to follow suit and do the same thing. FGNX right here is our FG Nexus, and let's see, that was down a little there today and just making that base up right there. So should be pretty good for your 20 to curl up and hit that up a little bit more. So keeping an eye on that one. And then you had your TONX, good old tone or ton or whatever the heck it's called, TONX right here. And that was up yesterday. It was looking great, looking even better today, I would say. So you might want to keep an eye on that. Where was that big pop when we were all getting options down here and it wasn't really moving, or whatever the heck that was? It was setting up and they had a quiet period. Now it's actually looking really good right there. So there's your TONX. And how about Galaxy? It was running around today. It was up a little bit higher at one point there right before, I guess, 2 o'clock, and then it pulled back at somewhat, but not looking bad there for Galaxy. Look at that, getting onto the 20. Looks like it could run up a little bit higher. So keep an eye on that one right there, GLXY. And then let's see what's going on with ASTS. This has been a monster, guys. This was a beautiful call right there. Did you see them options I posted today? Holy cow, they were printing over there. They were well over like 400 or 500% when it hit in the 73 area there. So definitely huge right there. Laptop travel, that's for sure. But yeah, I would say that ASTS was a beautiful call. So again, if you're in the Discord, we straight up called this out this morning. Number one pick, gave it to you before the market even opened. And look at this thing. I mean, that thing went astronomical today. So you could have got it right at the open and just watched it continue to go up the entire day for you. So what a beautiful call right there, I must say, for ASTS. So there you are with that guy. And let's see what it looks like over here. I mean, it was a beauty right there, I must say. Look at that thing. It looks like it wants to continue to go up. It could keep going, guys. So we'll be watching that tomorrow right there. So I hope a lot of you were making bank on that today. Kodak as well. We were talking about this. That's flying up, looking great right there. Should continue its way up. UMAC was cruising along as well. Unusual Machines looking pretty good right there. So you can keep an eye on UMAC, another good one. Nuclear was running up, going nuclear. Remember, I told you this was going to go nuclear before, and this is continuing the run up really good and still looks pretty good. So a lot of great ones right here running up for us, looking pretty decent. IMRX, a little bit of pullback, but look at that setup right there. We'll be patient on the pullback right there, and we'll catch IMRX on the next one up. So that'll be nice. And that is your IMRX. And let's see what else. And this guys are like something with pancreatic cancer. They're trying to cure that. So that's a pretty big deal. I meant to put the football game on. There's an actual Thursday night game on tonight. I totally forgot to put it on. I'll just look at the ESPN highlights and let you know and put it on later. It is who was it? It was like the Cowboys and the Lions, I believe. I think that's who it was when I looked. Yeah, Cowboys and Lions right there. So I'll keep you guys posted. And I don't think it started yet. Nah, it starts in a couple minutes at 8:15 is what it says. So 5 minutes, and then the Thursday night football game will be on. So I'll keep you guys posted on that game as well. And here we go. Let's keep on cruising through as we see NIXX. It was running yesterday. It was bouncing around today. I definitely was looking at this thing, and we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow, to be honest with you. It was just kind of running around. Didn't give us a really clear spot what it wanted to do there as it's hitting that 20, maybe pulling back just a little bit, possibly to get set back up, but really good one yesterday. And LITM was running up some more. Remember, we were talking about this one, and there you go with that. So that's another one cruising along. So there you go with that. IVF, not so bad. It recently reverse split. It could be getting into that spot. Look at it. I think that could be bottom, and you could see it run up. I'm not so sure how high you get this thing. Again, it just recently reverse split. We had it before when it was pulling back there. So unfortunately, but yeah, we'll look at it tomorrow, see what it wants to look like. That could be a decent one. I'll even call it a penny stock there because it's a reverse splitter and pretty cheap. So, excuse me. And so yeah, we'll definitely take a look at IVF and see if it does want to run right there. And how about your Sinez Tech right here? And this one not looking too bad, I must say. So this one cruised back up. Look at that thing sitting right on that trend line right there. And I would say Sinez Tech looks a lot better trying to get into that channel. It's in there. So, yeah, I think Sinez Tech should look a little better right there, Robin. So, how are you? And, yeah, no problem. Oh, there you go. You made some good money today. You're welcome, Robin. I'm glad that you did. So, there you go with that. And I'm glad. See, that's what happens when you're in the Discord, guys. And, of course, you're not going to win every single day. You see, we don't win every day. Believe me, I wish I could win. If I won every day, it would be a miracle. But, that's the beauty, I think, and the fun of the market. I would have to say, you got to beat the market and make the right choices. I bet if we traded exactly perfectly every day, I would think we'd beat the market with no problem because of our calls. But then again, you have to get in and out and hit that sell button at the right time and the buy buttons at the right time. So it is an interesting dynamic, but you can just sit here and call them easily. But then you also have to sit there and trade them very well. So today seemed to be a good day for all in the Discord. I would say so. Robin, yeah, everybody did pretty well today. It was pretty monstrous day all around there. And yeah, we had some beautiful calls going and some big old hits. So like I said yesterday, I said I was buying them options. Them options are from ASTS were just bought yesterday. They were up over 400-500% today. They were crazy. I mean, it was insane. So there you go. A beautiful day all around. So thank you, Robin, for tuning in and having fun. And we'll keep on cruising and find what's going to happen tomorrow. This Hertz has been setting up here, a little bit of pullback. I've been keeping an eye on this. This has like a lot of short interest on it. So we'll keep an eye on that to get set up right there for HTZ. And then your Chipotle right here was running up a little bit. And another one I think is going to try to level up here to like just take a little level after it popped up. And now I think it might be ready for another pop up there. So you can keep an eye on CMMG to see if it wants to start running again tomorrow. And look at this, Eli Lilly. We determined that it was Eli Lilly, and then it had run up big time. And then we said we should have shorted it down. Look at that thing. We could have shorted that down pretty big, I would say. But there you go for LLY. We watched it run up, and then we talked about shorting it down, and I don't think anybody even did it. But we definitely had the right game plan. I can tell you that right there. And how about your Cracker Barrel pulling back a little bit? Thought it was getting set up. And again, guys, I wasn't going to play it going into the earnings. Remember, I even said, let it go into the earnings, and they are next Tuesday. I can't imagine them being great with the chart looking like this. So I would rather wait until like Tuesday to see what the exact chart looks like before it really gets into the earnings right there for Cracker Barrel. So I've been doing all right with the earnings just based off the charts, doing them in the afternoon. and Ben and I, and then we look at all the ER reports, and well, he does. I just sit there and look at the charts. You guys know what I do. But anyway, we do have fun with that. And Lulu right here trying to roll back up, and this one could be another one that gets cruising right back up there. So you can keep an eye on your Lulu right there. It's not looking bad. To try to run back up, we had determined when it was going to run the first time, and now it looks like it's going to run a second time right here. And here is Boyle right now. And look at that thing, guys. Holy cow. Look at these guys. These things are just running. That is your natural gas one. Looking really good. We were talking about it last night. Gush was down a little. It did bounce off that resistance right there. I saw it. And that's your oil and gas one. Doesn't look terrible, but it did obvious, or that's Boyle right there looking good. Gush right there, like I said, hitting that resistance. So we'll see if it actually wants to come down or if it just wants to get set up. It was just hitting it today. That's your oil and gas right there. RBNE, Robin right here, RBNE. Remember this one? It looks pretty good, guys. So keep your eye on this. This might get flying. And we've determined every time it's had a big pop like that, we've caught every single one of them. You might be in for another one right here, guys. So keep an eye on RBNE right there, probably getting set up to get rolling. I meant to put it on the list last night. It had looked pretty good, but it still looks pretty nice right there. And your TMDE trying to get cruising as well. I don't know if it was really down today, but it was just bouncing around. You can see it not looking bad, trying to get set up. So you keep an eye on them too, them oil and gas ones that we look at. So there you go with them two. And let's see, plug right here, still kind of plugging away. At least it was earlier. It looks like it might have pulled back and kind of flattened out there at the end of the day. You can see at 2 o'clock and then just kind of flattened out. But what a weird chart, huh? But this is your plug, and yeah, obviously not looking bad and should start to plug away a little bit more. Maybe it's just bouncing around to get set up here, and then PLUG can look really good. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that one as well. We knew when it was getting set up to run right there. And QuantumScape right here, that's up. QS, somebody I knew would like that one. I forget who it was, but yeah, you're going to hit your 20, so be careful in the 13 area right there as it's approaching it tomorrow. So keep an eye on that area, see if you can get through. That's your first resistance, and just giving you a heads up right there. And here you go, Zach, for your rocket, pulling back just a little bit, but you did have some really good run up. And I expect you to kind of pull back and roll back up again for Rocket Mortgage. So that's what it looks like right there for RKT. So nothing really crazy. And let's look at our Home Depot and Lowe's. They were down again. And honestly, these ones are pretty wild running up here and in these nice pullback days. I think it's just getting set up. I don't think you're going to see this huge crash down. I think you might see even just level right here and just immediately get popping back up. Maybe tomorrow it'll be just a different day, but that's what it looks like. And remember, I said Lowe's looked a little bit better. Look at that thing. It still looks like it could have that little bit of pullback look, but they don't look bad. Home Depot looks like it could pull back a little bit more right there than Lowe's. As you can see, it pulling back some. Lowe's wasn't down as much today, but there you go with Lowe's and Home Depot. And I told you, Lowe's definitely looked better anyway. LDI trying to get set up here, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. You can see it rolling up right here, so definitely keep an eye on LDI as the rate cut is coming up. And speaking of the Fed rate cut, look at that thing right there. I'll just refresh it for you. 93%. Wow, there you go. So I would say you're looking for a rate cut on Wednesday there. So that'll be exciting for next week. And tomorrow being the end of the week, you wonder what's gonna happen towards the end of the week. It's always a weird one right there. But this house was kind of pulling back. This one's in the top. You might get a pullback on this one too as it goes into the rate cut. So we'll have to see what's going to happen with house tomorrow. And like I said, watch for that one. Could pull back. Remember, the Tylenol maker had been getting set up right here, ran up, little healthy pullback. I think you do get rolled off your MACD. It looks like it wants to actually. So there you go, a KVUE. That is the Tylenol maker. And Rocket Lab flying up there, and that was on our list to be moving along. And our good old Figment, our purple dinosaur right here, Luis Rodriguez. There you go. And you guys were right, you and Michael Anthony. Like I said, I knew that was going to get rolling just based off of you two alone. And there you go. And then I knew it was a purple dinosaur. So that I just added together, a new Fig would roll. And it still looks good to keep on cruising there. So Keep an eye on FIG right there. And I don't know if you like figs, but they're really good too when they're in season and right. So there you go with figs and Figment and the purple dinosaur. Anyway, let's keep on cruising right through our list. And we'll go back and look at them other crypto ones and gold and stuff. I'll just look at the rest of these. That Carmen was running up a little bit today, as you can see. That looks pretty decent for tomorrow. KRMN. And this CRML, Critical Metals, was looking great today, up 20%. Remember, we mentioned this one to get cruising. And I mean, there's so many that are going to be momentum plays for tomorrow. It's like all these all these ones right here that we've been talking about getting set up we're all basically looking like momentum plays for tomorrow. So interesting looks, but looking pretty good to me. And that is your CRML. And let's see what Circle's doing. And that thing was running up another percent today, and that's looking pretty good right there. So there you go at CRCL. And this C1, I'm telling you, I think your buyout comes. Remember, we were saying it was going to roll off this MACD and get back in the top. We all have options in it from the Discord. I think the Godfather was the one that was talking about this one, as a matter of fact. And C1 looking really good there. So keep an eye on that. He also liked Pat today. And look at that thing. Holy cow. Look at that. Up 24% PATH. So that was a monster. It looks like it could continue its way up tomorrow on that path right there. So keep an eye on PATH. And there's your Rich Tech Robotics right there, Luis Rodriguez. And that was looking good. Serve was looking really good, maybe even better, and still looks like it could be running tomorrow. So keep an eye on SERV. And we've mentioned these as well. So, I mean, we went over all these. There's obviously way too many that you could even possibly trade. So all you had to do was pick like a ASTS or a serve or any of these that ran up pretty good and had options on them, and you probably had a monstrous day today, like most of us in the Discord. So it was a lot of fun there today. There's your serve, CELH right here is your Celius, and that looks like it's trying to get set up right now. So there you go with Celius, and that 20's coming down, trying to get set up, looking pretty decent. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And let me see what Elf is up to. Looking pretty good. Ulta Beauty also had earnings today, but we always look at Elf right here. So there you go right there for ELF, Elf Beauty, and looking pretty good. And like I said, Ulta had its earnings, and look at this thing in the after hours. I'll give you a look right here because we were watching it, and it did get flying there in its earnings, and you can see it was up big, and it had earnings. I forget what it beat it by, but Ulta Beauty looking good. You can see that 20 rolling up too. That should be in pretty good shape for tomorrow morning. And keep on cruising right there. That is Ulta Beauty. Elf also looking good, like I said. And you're coping right here. Laptop Travel looking pretty good. Look at that on the 20. Jumped up over like almost 8% plus today. And we were talking about that last night. So that was looking good. Here's that CMND you were talking about with that really nice dip. And it did bounce right up 18% right there. Keep your eyes on this thing, guys. This thing could get cruising. This clear mind medicine. You might want to definitely keep an eye on CMND right there. Obviously bouncing up today, trying to get out of the basement. Looking pretty good, I must say. And had some pretty huge dips right there, hasn't it? So we'll see if that really wants to get bouncing. It does look like it wants to. Remember, I talked about K-Wave Media right here, and that looked pretty good, and it was running up today. Looks like it should try to run up a little bit more as that line's coming down. Your trend line's getting near it and should get it boosted up a little bit more. So we'll keep an eye on this KWM. And again, another good penny one right there. So you can keep your eyes on them. I put them all together in IVP right here. That Inspire, I mean, it was setting up better the other day, but it has that look like it could do something wild tomorrow. So you might want to be keeping your eye on it. It looks like it was trying to go up in the after hours. If you like these penny stocks, Doge Mama 9, I know you like a lot of these guys. Check out this IVP tomorrow. And look at that curl up hitting the 20 right there. See if it can get through. It took that real big dip right there today. Not huge, but yesterday, and then dipped down and ran around. Has that weird look right there. So it's a good one to keep an eye on for IVP right there. Inspire Veterinarian. million. And let's see what else is going on in this crazy list that we have with VWAV. Isn't that what it was? Yeah, Vision Wave. And it was kind of running up a little bit today. I remember seeing this thing. Yeah, it was up a little bit right there. And there you go. So it was jumping around. I don't know if it gets through all this channel, all these resistances right here, but it did run up the last 2 days. So that was a good one someone threw us. And Jess Brands ran up really good. So that was a really good one someone had mentioned too. And look at that thing up almost 30% there. So good call on JFBR. We had that on the list last night. This KXIN still setting up that China Auto Truck and Dealership or whatever the heck it is. It recently split, and look at that bad boy right there. So another one you might want to keep on your list, KXIN. Consider that a penny stock too, because it recently just split right there, and it does look pretty good. So I would keep an eye on that one tomorrow. And there's your SMX right there. Janica will look at that, but it got crazy today. I mean, this thing ran like a monster. We've looked at SMX before, Security Matters, a million times, honestly. But look at all the reverse splits it's had. So it didn't matter if you had had it before, because if you did, until like basically right here in the last few days, like since November, maybe if you bought it at the end of October, or like right around these areas right here, you did pretty well. But I mean, I guess if you bought it at 102 area, but again, you had two reverse splits and got like shaken out probably, or you're just sitting there way diluted, and then all of a sudden the thing goes up like a monster today. I mean, this thing was insane right there. So I have no idea what the hell even happened. I'm not sure. SMX is rebuilding supply chain confidence with evidence the world is no longer ignoring. I have no idea. What did they even do? Announcement of plastic cycle token, PCT, drove the 94% intraday surge amid ongoing momentum from recent financing. So yeah, I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They make a token? I have no idea. Yeah, I guess represents a blockchain, something and another, and that's a lot of stuff to read. Too much for me, honestly. But there you go, Michael Anthony. How are you? And you must be real crazy to buy this. That people will take a big loss. Which one? SMX? I'm not saying I'm buying that, Michael Anthony. I was just saying I used to have this thing, and it's been diluted like crazy. I think it might run up more tomorrow, to be honest with you. Look at it. It ran up pretty big in the after hours, as a matter of fact. And it has that look right there. It just got into the top and looks like it could like run up more. So maybe if you're just swinging it tomorrow, but you better be careful with this bad boy. But it's very crazy right there. It does look like it wants to run up even more. I'm not going to lie. But again, you better be careful and make sure it's really looking good tomorrow. We'll look at it tomorrow. Okay, I'll take a look at that bad boy in the morning. And how are you, Michael Anthony? And this is Sensei Biotherapeutics. This was running up pretty big in the after hours. It ran up today, actually, too. We've looked at this before, and there you go. So that was cruising. I'm not sure what they had. And again, a lot of these companies have split. So if you've had them before, that would, yeah, I don't even know I have no idea which stock ticker he's referring to there, Laptop Travel. So yeah, which one are you referring to? Is it that one I was just looking at, the SMX? I couldn't remember what one we were even looking at. But anyway, yeah, SMX, like I said, that one, it could go up tomorrow some more. I'm telling you, that one isn't looking bad for a quick run. And again, Michael Anthony, we do quick trade. Did you see what I posted today, Michael Anthony, from yesterday, ASTS? That thing was a monster there. It was up well over like 400 or 500% on the option call. So that's what we look for. We're not looking for these. I know you like to get in for dividends and all that good stuff, and we just look for like quick pops and what's going to be running, like Sensei Biotherapeutics right here. Look at this thing in the morning. It's blasting off my Laptop Travel. Check that thing out. Look at that thing setting up. You'll probably get a good squeeze out of that at 4 a.m. right there. Why is Sensei up? I have no idea. Retail driven momentum fueled after hours surge amid social media hype. So I guess somebody pumped it. I have no idea, to be honest with you, Michael Anthony. That's what it sounds like to me. And QCLS, we were just looking at this QC Technologies not long ago. This was up like 50% today, and that was looking good. Remember, we were watching it off this line saying it looked good. Then it just kind of flattened out until the last 2 days when it got rolling. So there you go with QCLS. And again, just so many good ones. And SUB, what was that one that what the heck is it? SUGP, that's what it is. SUGP, this one was running up there as well. So there you go. Look at that at 850 right there. So SUGP, bam! Look at that thing, Laptop Travel. So watch that tomorrow too. SU Group Holdings, that could be a good one. 620 to 1138. It's at 852 right now. So there you are with SUGP, and of course Oklo right here, Oklo Inc. And that's what are they, like a nuclear one? And it's going nuclear. So Oklo launches 1.5 billion at the market equity offering program or something today via filing. I don't know whatever happened with that, but there you go. I guess that's what happened. I don't even see it down here. But anyway, who cares? That's what it says over here. Oh, well, there's that 502 it says. But anyway, it was up today. It came down in the after hours. Let's see it. I mean, I guess that's what I was looking like. If they filed an offering, you would think it came down, but it must have come down right there. You can see 104. It did close at 111, so it definitely did come down. Maybe they did have an offering. It was looking good today until they had I don't understand why they had an offering. 1.5 billion at the market equity offering. I guess they need money for something there, Michael Anthony. And all biotechs ran today. That news today that CNBC talked about. What did they say? I have no idea, Michael Anthony. Can you please fill us in? What was the news? I have no idea what the news was. So I just know they talked about Kodak today. Maybe that wasn't even CNBC, that was Fox. But Kodak was a monster today. There were so many of them that were looking great. We went through a ton of them already. BTGD, here you go with this. This is that Bitcoin staked and 100% gold ETF. Pulling back a little bit, nothing real crazy. Here's your Solana one ETF, or your ETF 2 times, and that is just pulling back a little bit. Nothing crazy there. And SOLZ right there, a little bit of pullback. So they're your Solana guys and your HSDT. That one was up, and that STKE is kind of getting set up right there. So you might want to keep an eye on that one. And we'll look at JNUG, our good old gold right here. It was bouncing around. It does look like it's trying to curl up to run again. So keep an eye on that. You can see NUG, they did have a little pullback after they've ran up. You can see they built a little resistance now. That line wasn't there, that trend line. I love FinViz. They like put that stuff in there, and them trend lines are perfect. I'm telling you, they always are money right there. So keep an eye on that. GDXJ. Here we go. And it was up just a hair, but nothing crazy. But again, they do look like they're trying to curl up some and not looking bad. We know silver would run like crazy the other day. And another one just pulling back it again. They do look like they're going to try to continue to curl up right there. And then you have your strong rare earth strategic metals ETF, REMX. And that one was pulling back today. And I thought that would actually look good. So we'll have to see what's up with this thing. It kind of surprised me. I was like, well, the CRML and critical metals and things like that were actually running. So why is that one down? But I have no idea, guys. But that's what it looked like right there for that whatever REMX. And yeah, it didn't look too bad. It does have a little setup period, and maybe it does work its way back up to that resistance there tomorrow as it gets set up and bounces around for REMX. And there you go with the list that we always do. So there we are, and we'll go through our Jolie's Jams, and our laptop travel list is super long. And another day, he has a ton of great setups. So I'll just fly right through, guys. Get your pad and pen out, and you guys can take your notes like last night, and I'll cruise through. A lot of them were good today, and he has a huge list for tonight too. So we'll go through each and every one of them real quick. I'll just cruise right through them, like I said, and you guys can pick out the ones that you like. I know a few people actually did do exactly that, and obviously Laptop Travel's on at 4 a.m. doing the 4 a.m. warrior stuff too. So some of these may actually run early in the morning with that. So we will keep an eye and look at them, guys. And let's look at our rhythm and our Jolie's Jams right here. And here we go. Rhythm been beaten down, actually tried to get running up there, and I do think you're getting set up. So might be one to keep an eye on your getting set up list right here. I'll keep that on my list. All the ones that we had on our getting set up list got blasted off. Let's put it that way. So there's your RYM. BLNK. Let's look at Blink and see what that was doing, because that was trying to get set up. It was up a little bit, and I think Blink is setting up and getting ready to run. Maybe wants to run up a little bit more there. So keep an eye on BLNK if you like good old Blink charging, and good old Sezzle right here. And obviously, we like this one because it does like to run. It was up a hair today. It's getting into that channel. So keep an eye on this. I mean, they're getting bullish, guys. Maybe they run up tomorrow, a little pullback. Monday, Tuesday, as they go into the rate cut. I don't know. They just have that weird look, like they want to keep running, but you see a lot of them having the 50s and some channels that they're in. Unless they just blast right through it because of the momentum, and we're going to get into like a real Christmas and Santa Claus rally right here. So we'll see as the market opens tomorrow, but that is what Sezzle looks like, and not looking bad. Sterling had been pulling back early this morning. We were looking at it, and then it actually ran up a little bit today. So keep an eye on Sterling. I think I might have to definitely keep an eye on Sterling tomorrow. We looked at it today. I'm telling you, I definitely checked it out, and this thing looks like it's getting ready to set up the blast off, and we know this thing can get running like crazy. So might be worth checking this out. Let's just take a quick look at this real fast. Let's see. So you'd have to get them going in. Oh no, well we could do that. That would be December 19th right there. You're at 332. Hold on, we got to go all the way down here. Wow, 340. That's a huge spread right there. That's pretty wild for Sterling, huh? And they're pretty expensive. Look, these guys are already up though. They're up already 78% right there, but let me see. 340s. Damn, that's crazy. They're pretty wild, huh? 1140 by 15 too. We'll have to look at them bad boys tomorrow. That's a pretty big one, and so we'll have to check that out. Maybe we'll have to look. Let's see what these look like. 330 something. Don't mind me as I search around for options right here for tomorrow. But 340 right there, and that's going into January 16th. And let's see, 22, 30, 25. They're pretty expensive. I'm not going to lie right there. So we'll check them out tomorrow and see if we like our Sterling options and if that's the ones that we like. But something to keep an eye on. You know, it runs huge. So it always gets popping, and it looks real good right there. And Rivian right now, look at that thing's been running up. Just be careful. It's getting in the top. It could continue to run, but getting up there. And Symbiotic took a nice dip after them earnings run up. So we'll watch for that to try to bounce back up again there. And now let's go ahead and look at our laptop travel list. And that was your Jolie's Jams right there. So thank you, Asian Jolie. And AIMP, we're just going to cruise right through these things right here. It was AIMD is what it is, not P. Here we go. Let's roll. Ready? Get a drink of water, and we'll go through. I'll need one for this list. How many are there? I got to count this first already. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30 of them, it says. I think you guys count. I don't know if I counted it right. It's probably close to that anyway. So here we go. We're going to go through 30 of them really quick for you guys. So pretty good right there. AIMD, Anos Inc. That was running up today, up 3%, up a little bit in the after hours. Not too bad right there. ARAI, let's see what Arrive AI is doing. This looks like it's ready to arrive for the AI game and get cruising. So check that out. I'm not familiar with it, but it did look like it was trying to get set up. We're familiar with Artway right here, ARTW. We just looked at it the other day and literally said it was getting set up on that trend line. And look at that bad boy. It certainly did. It looks like it could run some more tomorrow. And your ATER, Ethereum Inc. And this is running up a little bit right there. It has some resistance. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. BIVI, let's see. There we go with BioV or whatever the heck it's called. And that was running up, hitting the 50 right there. We'll have to see if probably going to stay in that channel. Being a Friday tomorrow for BIVI and BLIN right here. Good old Bridgeline Digital, BLIN Blin. and that's in that channel. And look at these guys, they're just continuing their way up a little bit, slowly but surely, but not looking too bad there, Michael Anthony. So keep your eye in your make sure you're jotting down the ones that you like off of this list right here. I know this is your style. That BOSC looks really good, though. Communication equipment in Israel. I would say keep an eye on that one. I'm going to jot that one down for tomorrow. That one's getting set up. BOSC. It almost looks like it would be Boscov's, but it's not. It's BOS, Better Online Solutions. Communication equipment, and looking really good. Look at that curl up right there, getting into that channel. So keep an eye on that one. I do like that right there. And CPIX, let's see what CPIX is doing. Cumberland Pharmaceuticals, that's actually looking pretty good right there. We can keep an eye on that in the morning. That one might be a good one that runs up. And DAIO is Data IO Corp. Not familiar with this, but in that channel, just running around, nothing crazy right there, but hopping around. We've been looking at that DLXY for a little while now, and it's basically just been hopping around right about here. And it looked really good the other day as it was coming off this bottom to run up, and it certainly did. I remember looking at it, and now it looks like it might level up. So that's what that DLXY is doing. And we had looked at it not long ago, not looking too bad right there. EDUC, Educational Development right now, and that's in that channel up a couple cents right there. That has a weird look. I have to just look at this right here just to get an idea. It has a pretty weird look right there, as you can see, in the 20, but doesn't know which way it wants to go. I'd have to look at it in the morning. And you have your GIN. What is it? I think I wrote GNIN. I don't know if that's even one right there. Oh, wait, I have too many eyes. No, maybe not. I'm not sure what that one was supposed to be, laptop travel, but HUDI I know is one. And let's see what's going on right here. That one's not, that has a bunch of weird looks, and they should be pretty good weird looks. So that might do a Houdini act right here, HUDI. I don't know what the heck it's called, HUD or something. I have no idea. It's in China, but that is looking pretty good to try to disappear going up right there. So I'd keep an eye on HUDI right there. That does look nice. And let's see what else is going on your laptop travel list. IMNN Minuin or something like that. I don't know how to say that one either, but it does look like it's getting set up right now. So might be one to keep an eye on tomorrow. We've looked at this Cala. It ran up a little bit more tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's going to continue tomorrow, but it does have these crazy spikes each day, which is interesting if you're trading that one. And MARP something S right there. Marine Petroleum Trust. They give out dividends, Michael Anthony. Check that out. And let's see, it is on the 20, just hopping up there today. It does look like it's trying to curl up pretty well for MARPS and Marine Petroleum Trust. And let's see what Mogu's doing right here. That's also a China one. I know that. It's in the channel as well. I don't know if that's going to get blasting off. Has a weird look on it for today. And MSOY, I don't know what that is either. And I didn't see anything come up. MTEK, I know that's one. Maris Tech right there. That looks pretty good to try to continue up possibly for MTEK. And MYSE. Oh, I can't even type it in right, but there's your MYSE. And Mycelium or something like that. Something like that. And look at this thing right here. This guy's trying to curl up. It's in that channel. So a lot of these look really good. Could continue its way up there tomorrow. And here's your PETS, PETZ. Not looking too bad either. So that's just a slowly but surely going up one right there. And let me see what else is going on this laptop travel list right here. It's quite the list. What I say, there was 30 of them maybe. And REVB right here, Revelation Bio. Now that one looks really good up there. Could get curled up to run some more for REVB and SBLX. I think we look at, no, that's a different one. StableX Technologies. I was thinking something different, but StableX Technologies. Now that one looks pretty good too. I say we mark that one right there. How about SOPA? I know we've looked at this one recently. That almost got your list wrapped up right here. Here's SOPA right here, not looking too bad. And So Good, SOGW or SOWG. So good right here. And that looks so good. Could keep running up. Remember, we looked at this a bunch of times. We find this one, it wants to pop up because it's always fun to say that it looks so good. And it is SOWG. So there you go. And let me see what VI the heck did I even write down? Hold on. I got to try to read this now. What does it say? I think it says VIVS. Is that? I don't think so. I don't even know. Yeah, maybe it does say that. VivoSim Labs. I'm not familiar with VivoSim, but look at that thing crawling up there today. Not looking too bad. Not familiar with that at all. And Weemy, we've looked at this Weemy hologram, and this thing's a China small cap. That's getting to be in a good spot right there, guys. We recently just talked about that. Wasn't that yesterday or the day before? Some Laptop Travel had that on here. And WVVI, I think you had that on here a couple times as well. Willamette Valley Vineyard, yup. And this one's in that channel, just trying to get curled up a little bit. So we'll watch that Vineyard one. And YQ. Nope, that's YZ. Hold on, I got to find the Q. There it is. 17 Education and Technology Group. That's in China. That actually looks really good right there, Laptop Travel. You might want to watch that in the morning. It says it pulled back a little bit in the after hours, but not looking bad. I know you like these kind right there, and they hop around a lot in the pre-market and stuff. Keep an eye on that YQ right there. And ZYBI. I don't see that one. Is it B something? BT it is. So there you go. I can't read my writing. And that's another China little guy right there, and just kind of setting up in that channel with a weird look. So there you go with your 30 Laptop Travel list right there. And thank you, Laptop Travel. A lot of interesting ones right there. Weemy looks good. SBLX, I'm going to say that one. But that BOSC, keep your eye on that thing too. So, yeah, there's a bunch of other ones, obviously, on there that are setting up and probably going to run up a little bit tomorrow, but that one's not looking bad right there. So keep an eye on that thing. And there you go. So thank you, Laptop Travel. Let's keep on cruising. We'll look at our SPY Mag 7, big caps, all them guys. See what's going on there and what you want to look at, Michael Anthony, and anything else that's grabbing our attention. Let's see what the news stories say first. Asian stocks snap 3-day gain. Japan leads drop. Let's see. Trading day claims muddy Fed outlook, and stock futures are a little changed ahead of key inflation data and the OK-shaped economy, whatever that means, and why investors see Friday's inflation report as a gut check for vibes on the economy. So I don't even really know what any of them really are talking about, to be completely honest with you. Let's just look at this real quick, and then we'll go through the other ones. There's your big bear right there. Luis Rodriguez just looked over and noticed that you wrote the big bear down, and that was up 15% and looking pretty good to continue its way up. So you keep an eye on BBAI as well. That one is looking pretty nice right there. Let's see, PAVS, big dip right there. That's your semiconductor bear, is your SOXS, and SOXL is the one that would go up, or your bull one. And there's your ASST we were looking at yesterday, and it did take a big dip down, collar right there. There's your plug, Intel dipping down there today. I saw that. There's that QCLS and ONDS right there, and path went nutty. KITT is a robotic one, but it did run up and then pull back. Rich Tech Robotics still up, and Open Door was up a little bit. We'll see what it wants to do. There's that Soxel right there, RGTI up. And let me see, IXHL, that was trying to run around yesterday and today a little bit. Archer is an aviation one and not looking bad right there. So there you go, a little overview of them. And then we'll go through our Mag 7 and these guys real quick. Here we go, and let me give you an update. The game's been on for like a half hour. I totally forgot there was a game on because I don't have it on over here. It's 3-3. It's in the first quarter with 4 minutes and something left. I don't even know. Let's say 4 minutes left. How's that? And the Lions have the ball, it looks like. So, yeah, it's tied up right now. I'll put the game on. I can play. I totally forgot to even look at my phone to see what it was, but there you go for your Thursday night football update. And let's see, should watch CNBC that talk about the easing on biotech. Michael Anthony said the recent, what does it say? The recent run up in biotech stocks is due to several positive developments, including an easing on political and regulatory uncertainty, a surge in mergers and acquisitions, M&As, and successful drug trials, I would say, I bet. And we should be watching CNBC that talk about the easing on biotech. So there you go, Michael Anthony. That's what he likes to say. And Doge Mama said Doge Mama 9 said she's too busy all day and don't like being late. So what a great day. And don't forget to see the full moon. Wasn't there like a blood moon or something crazy tonight? Thank you, Doge Mama 9, for reminding me to go out. I have to take the trash out tonight. It's trash night tomorrow anyway, so I would go out, but thank you for reminding me to check that out, and everybody else, of course. So there you go, Doge Mom and I giving us a good reminder. Go check out the moon. It is supposed to look pretty cool tonight. That is for sure. So here we go. Let's go through, look at our SPY, our Qs, and everybody else, and see what we're looking like tomorrow. SPY was up and went up in the after hours a little bit right there. As you can see, it did look pretty good for that. There's your Qs, and they did go up in the after hours a little bit as well. So not looking bad right there for your SPY and your Qs going into tomorrow. That's a pretty good look, I have to say. And obviously, we'll see what they look like as we get on at 7 a.m. right here every morning. And let's look at our IWM right there. That had been running up all day. A little bit of easy pullback at the end of the day there, and then just eased into the ending there. So nothing crazy, but for the most part, it was pretty bullish. And there it was, your IWM, your Qs, and your SPY. Now let's take a look and see what our Mag 7 did today. And that's Apple right here was down. That was looking good the other day, and then it got to be a rotten apple right there. Amazon was down too. I don't know what they're doing during the holiday season, but they're pulling back. They gotten like something happen. Oh yeah, the Amazon prepares to end USPS partnership and expand its own delivery network as Democratic lawmakers demand details on donations to Trump's White House ballroom, citing potential quid pro quo concerns right there. So there you go. I bet if Bezos had donated money to them, they wouldn't have said it was quid pro quo or anything like that when he donated money to all of them while they were in office. So it's kind of interesting. But anyway, there you go with Amazon, and it was pulling back right there. So we'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. Google right here also pulling back, and that looked like it wanted to roll off and go up there tomorrow. So another interesting one. And again, possibly they might want to first thing in the morning, maybe they try to pop up a little bit and then dip down. We'll see how the market opens up, obviously. But Meta was running up early, and then that took a big old dip down. It was still up, but look at it. It was before the market even opened. It was up like $40, and then it was only up like 20 throughout the day, but definitely up a little bit more at like 9 o'clock. I forget what happened. I don't even remember what their news was, to be completely honest with you. They cut 30% cuts to metaverse budget with possible layoffs, and then people went crazy and started buying it up. So there you go. Oh, there you go, Laptop Travel. Your mic's getting delivered first thing in the morning, so your daughter's excited. That's great. Laptop Travel is going to start doing some shows with his daughter. That'll be cool. I'll start having them on. We can start doing shows together. That'll be a good time. So anyway, that'll be fun right there. But he's going to be doing all kinds of good stuff. So cool. And let's see what else is going on right here with our Mag 7. And that was Meta and Microsoft. That is up a little bit. And that was trying to set up right here. You can see it. Actually, not looking too bad. Microsoft might get popping right there, actually. So we might want to keep an eye on that Microsoft tomorrow. And of course, we'll be, let's see what Microsoft looks like right here. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. It doesn't look like it wants to get rejected off there really hard, to be honest with you. And the video was up today. And like I said, I was talking about in the video if you were listening. And there you go. It's popping and it's setting up, guys. Something's going on with the video. Apparently, they had some kind of news or something happened yesterday or last night. I'm not even sure what it was, but here you can see NVIDIA partners with Palantir and CenterPoint Energy to launch chain reaction AI data center platform, faces scrutiny from Democratic lawmakers over Trump White House donations, and confronts new bipartisan Senate bill seeking to block advanced chip sales to China, escalating export control risks. So there you go. Everything that they do now seems to be a problem now facing with Democratic lawmakers with donations and so. Isn't it amazing, guys? Like nothing in this country can ever run right because and I'm saying both sides are just out of control. I mean, holy cow, it's crazy. But yeah, that's pretty wild right there. Anyway, let's see, anything they can do to just try to stop Trump. I mean, they tried to. You know what's interesting? I'm going to do a video about something. It's very interesting, actually. It's kind of fascinating. The amount of times that they tried to take him to court and do that kind of stuff why during the 4 years that, and even while he was a president too, but the 4 years that, like, in between when Biden was in, is just it's insane, guys. It's like, you want to talk about political abuse and trying to jail your political opponents like we're a third world country. Just look at what, like, I'll do it. I'll write it up for you guys. It's quite amazing when you look at the timeline of it all and just look at what they did. It's crazy, guys. It's absolutely bonkers. And in most of the cases got thrown out, except a couple of them that were just also bonkers too. I mean, like we won't go into it right now. But anyway, yeah, it's just kind of crazy how they tried to basically put him in jail or not let him be able to run because they knew he would beat him. Basically, that's what was going on there. I mean, at the end of the day, if you just want to spell it out easily, that's what was happening. And so very fascinating, to be completely honest with you. And then he still wins. And not only did he win, he like just eliminated, he knocked out all of his political rivals and ended all their political careers all in one election. It was kind of fascinating, guys. It's really a fascinating story. If you really look at it like that, it's kind of crazy. Whether you like them or not, like I said, it doesn't really matter. Just look at it from the aspect of like the history of it and what actually took place. It's really fascinating, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's get back to the market here and see what else is going on with our Mag 7. But NVIDIA is looking good. I like it. And Tesla was up too, and that's looking pretty good. So I would say your Microsoft, NVIDIA, and your Tesla looking pretty good right there. Not in that exact order, but they all three of them are looking good for your Mag 7s. And then your AMC was up a little bit today. Not looking too bad. We'll see if it can get popping. And there's your GameStop was pulled back, and we'll see. I actually got rid of my options there, so I think it might run up a little bit more, but they were going to be expired, and I was way up on them, so I figured I didn't want to take them into the earnings either. You guys know I do not like earnings, that's for sure. Maybe not if I'm already up on something, maybe why we're playing it like we are now at the end of the day, and I like the setup and it's curling up there. But I mean, look at this thing. It had just run up astronomically for me. So I had to lock them guys in as well right there. So that was GameStop. And let's see, I'm not saying I won't get more, but we'll let it pull back first. And Chewy right here, that is pulling back a little bit at the moment. Unity was looking good, had a little pullback today. It doesn't look terrible right there, but was pulling back. And Netflix, like I said, look at that. It's in that channel down there, and we'll keep an eye on it. Definitely a good opportunity down here for Netflix. And let's look at our semiconductors. Broadcom, AVGO, it's just sitting on that trend line. It looks like it wants to get curled off and not looking too bad. MU right here was taking a good old dip, and that one was falling down. So it looks like it could possibly fall down some more tomorrow. So let's actually look at that one going down tomorrow, MU. And how about TSM right here? And that was taking a little dip, but nothing real crazy. SMCI getting set up like we were talking about, and that's not looking too bad right there. AMD was down a little bit right there. And this thing, I think, is still getting set up. Look at it just curling up. And I think you have a little bit of time. If you have a little patience on AMD, I think you're going to see a pop relatively soon. And there's your QCOM pulling back some. So there you go with QCOM. And Snowflake did pull back big yesterday with its earnings. And there you go. It's pretty down today. So Snowflake was coming down. Snow was coming down there. And PayPal, that was hopping around today. Not looking too bad, as a matter of fact, with PayPal. And you can see it did run up early, pulled back, and ran up right there. And let's see, JP Morgan did downgrade PayPal to neutral from overweight and cuts price target to 70 from 85. So there you go with PayPal. And let's see what else is going on over here with Sophie. Didn't they get obliterated after the market? But let's look at Intel. I forgot about Intel and Dell real quick. Intel was pulling back, and Dell was up today. And did you see Michael Dell and his wife are donating all kinds of money? I don't know what the heck it's for, but something, I have no idea. But Dell looking pretty good going into tomorrow. It might have pulled back in the after hours, but it wasn't looking bad right there. And there's your IBM looking pretty good as well. So keep an eye on that one, because IBM looks like it could continue to set up and run up a little bit tomorrow. And here's your Palantir, and that was not coming down. Palantir not bad today. Sophie was coming down in the after hours. I forget what was going on right there, but as you can see, Sophie pulling back in the after hours. Let's see. Sophie launches. Oh, they had an offering. That's right. They did an offering for whatever reason. I am not sure why Sophie needed to do an offering, but they certainly did. And so there you go. With SOFI usually looking great, and then they do an offering. I really don't get it, to be completely honest with you. So anyway, there you go with good old Sophie and Palantir. And here's your crypto what the heck are they called? The crypto miner ones. That's what they're called. Crypto miners. Mara right here. Riot, not too bad. Mara was hitting a little bit of resistance, as you can see, but should try to get over that 20 right there. Riot's already been over. It's still in that channel right there. And Clean Spark had run up pretty big off its earnings, and it's continuing to run up right there. So that's actually looking good. And then, of course, you have your micro strategy, and that's just kind of hopping around right there. It wasn't looking bad yesterday, but kind of flat today. Robinhood's on its way up. Looks like it could run up more. Bull was or Coinbase was down. Bull not looking bad. I'll tell you that. Bull looks really good, as a matter of fact. Look at Bull. That looks like it wants to run up some more tomorrow, so you can keep an eye on good old Bull right there. That's Webull, and we've been liking that one as well. And let's keep an eye and see what else is going on here with space, because that had been looking good and still running up. I told you that thing was looking great. I actually looked at that option I had, and it's still not worth anything. So we'll see. Maybe space can run through the moon. I don't even know what it has to get to be honest with you. I totally forget. Let me see. We have to go back to last year, and it was oh yeah, it was like in the sixes, right? I think that's where. So it'd have to get to like at least, what the heck did I just hit? What is that thing? I have no idea what that is right there, to be honest with you. What did I just do? I don't even know what that was. But anyway, yeah, I guess I'd have to get back to the sixes or sevens or something like that. But it's not a big deal. It was one of the first ones I ever did, and there you go. I live and you live and you learn. I had no idea what I was doing. I just bought a couple options, and bought one for a year out last year, over a year out actually, and yeah, it's down and it's not worth anything, and it was only like a couple bucks, so it didn't matter. So anyway, there you go. That's good old space. And I just like to tell you the good old story about that one. And Boeing right here had been running up, a little bit of pullback, just staying in that channel right there. And then you have your DJT getting set up in that channel as well. Like I've been saying, Michael Anthony, I don't know if you've been keeping your eye on DJT, but it does look pretty good. And there's your Nike right there. And you did mention LULG right there, the Lulu ETF, not looking bad, as Lulu looks pretty good to try to step it up as well. So you can definitely keep an eye on that one. And let's see what McDonald's is doing, because that was trying to bounce up a little bit higher. It was running up this morning and then just bouncing around. Looks like it was going up a little in the after hours for McDonald's. And how about your Disney right here, Luis Rodriguez? A little bit flat and not sure what that wants to do right there. Kind of interesting. And then you had your Oxy and ExxonMobil. And then Oxy was up, ExxonMobil a little bit of pullback. It was up early this morning, and then it did pull back a little bit. So there you go with that list. And of course, we do have our DXYZ. That was up like $2 today, and that is cruising along right there. So there you go with DXYZ. And then let me see what you guys want to look at, because we just looked at everything right there. And I know you guys probably have a bunch of good ones right here, Janicus. So yeah, SMX, that was a wild one there tonight. And like I said, it's up $25 in the after hours and looks like it wants to continue. So you can keep an eye on it in the morning, that's for sure, to see if you like it. I'll jot it down over here. We'll look at it in the morning as well. And just to get an idea, because you know that thing's going to be crazy with laptop travel and his 4 a.m. Warriors. They're going to be all over that thing, and that thing's going to be wild there. So we'll have to see what it looks like in the morning there. Janica will take a look at it and see. And we'll see Siwan to get a buyout after some time in ASTS, Kodak, Bull, Copen, and QNRX right there. Let's see what that coin therapeutics that was running up pretty well. That's not looking too bad. The laptop travel right there, and CoreWeave is looking pretty good. I agree with you, Luis Rodriguez. That's also a good one. CRWV. We were looking at it the other day. It was looking great. Path was ripping along. We were talking about that one today, and AIP is looking really good, and that thing's been running up as well. So there you go, AIP right there, looking good there. And let's see what UAMY is doing right here. Look at that thing jumping up finally. That looks really good right there, Luis Rodriguez, for UAMY to be getting set up. I like that look as well. And your Terra Wolf right here, WULF Terror Wolf, and it was running up today, not looking bad. What's Wolf Speed up to? And that was looking pretty good. Look at Wolf Speed right here. That thing looks pretty wild, actually. Check out that. That thing looks like it could get some Wolf Speed and has a lot of room because then it like reverse split or did something. I don't know. It took a huge dip there. It did something. I forget what the heck it was doing. But anyway, there you go with the other wolf, and that's WOLF, and Terra Wolf is WULF, and there you are. And how are you, Robin? And let's see, it was a good day for Robin. See that? Look at that. There you go, everybody. That's why you're in the Discord. Seemed to be a good day for all in the Discord, I would say so. We were crushing it. And people do really well in the Discord all the time, that's for sure. Rich Tech Robotics was running up there. Good price action. Garmin, you've been talking about it, was running up today, and it is looking pretty good, Luis Rodriguez. I have to give you that. And your 4Us was doing great too. And that one you can add to your list for tomorrow because it looks great to try to run up. Oh, you did look at Celius. It was up a little bit, still looking pretty good there. RGTI, we looked at these guys. They were all looking pretty hot and do look great going into tomorrow. HIMS looked pretty good and still looks good going into tomorrow as well. And then that BMNR, another one still looks great going into tomorrow. And let's go ahead off of that and look at our crypto. As a matter of fact, Bitcoin's down a little. I wouldn't necessarily call that down, to be honest with you. 92.3 right there. You can see it's run up. It's been bouncing around, as a matter of fact, all day, right in this area right here. So, and it just looks like a little healthy pullback, to be completely honest with you. Ethereum looks like a little healthy pullback and looks like it wants to run up a little bit higher. Solana, the same situation right there. Doesn't look too crazy. That one looks like it could pull back a little bit more. Ripple looks like it could pull back a little more, but Bitcoin and Ethereum looking pretty good, I must say, right there. Cardano, let's see, over that 20, just hanging out. I don't think they're going to be pulling back really that much right here. And here is Stellar XLM, and exactly not pulling back a whole lot. And here's Optimism, and I'm optimistic that they don't pull back a whole lot. Let's put it that way. So that's what they look like right there. I think they're just getting set up to hang out, to be honest with you. And let's keep on cruising right through and see what everybody's looking at. We did look at that Sensei Biotherapeutics. It is running up pretty big in QCLS. That was also running up nice. And SUGP right there. We did check out all three of them right there. AKAN. Look at that bad boy. That one was pulling back and running up in the after hours. Let's take a look at this thing. AKAN. Wow, Conda, that's looking really good there. I could say could have a good momentum play right there for tomorrow, guys, for AKAN. And let's see, 16 stocks on your pre-market list, overnight watch list for the Discord subscribers. Laptop travel, that's a couple right there. That's crazy. And let's see what else is going on. Let me see. SMX, we were talking about that one. And let me see, laptop travel. So he's trying to get to the live show and got there around 11:15, and everybody was gone. Yeah, we had hopped off. We were on super early this morning, laptop travel. If you didn't see, we interviewed the CEO of Air, and that was Stewart this morning, and he was in what's that country? What the heck is it called? Dubai, that's where it's at. And it is the hookah company. So we were talking to Stuart early this morning. So we were on early. I hopped on at 8:30 to help out with the interview. And so yeah, we were talking to Stuart for a little bit, and then we stayed on for there for a little while, and then we hopped off at like 10:10 and came back later on. So that's what happened, laptop travel. So and why is Sinez Sensei up? I don't know, Michael Anthony. To be completely honest with you were talking about. I think we already answered that or talked about it. And CNBC and all that good stuff. MP right here. That was another one. MP Materials, and that one was running up really nice. Loving that one. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez, for that one. That's a great chart setup, ready to take off. Meta, to Bloomberg, reported today the company plans to reduce the budget for its metaverse unit up to 30% next year, a business segment that includes teams working on Quest virtual reality headsets or something. And that is why Meta decided to run. The big bear was looking pretty good there. And the recent run up in biotechs is due to several positive developments. I think I read that, right? Yeah, we did read that already. And then you were talking about some CNBC talk there, Michael Anthony, and all that good stuff. And who cares about a game when you can win plenty of cash to fly to any game to see in live? I actually don't go to any of the games that live, to be honest with you there, Michael Anthony. And the game right now, speaking of which, for you, Michael Anthony, here you go. The Cowboys are down 10-6. The Lions are up, and the Cowboys have the ball in the second quarter with about 9 minutes left. So there you go with your Thursday night football update. And so there you are. And Michael Anthony, I live in the Philadelphia area. I didn't even go to the games really when I didn't have a brain injury. You are not going to them games if you do have a brain injury like me, trying not to get hit in the head and deal with all that stuff. It is crazy over there. I'll tell you that. You do not want to go hang out at a football game. I think like the only game I could go to probably is like a baseball game. The Phillies, it's outside, it's not too bad, and nothing real crazy going on. So yeah, I'm not. I love hockey games. I don't even think I can do that, to be honest with you. They have like way too many flashing lights and stuff for me. So anyway, there you go, Michael Anthony. So that's why I give you the updates on the sports and positive drug trial results, unlike previous years, where positive data sometimes failed to move stock prices. Companies are now being rewarded for solid clinical trial results. Well, that's nice to hear, Michael Anthony. Thank you. And Dollar General, wasn't that way up today? One of them was up today. I forget what the heck it was, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was Dollar General. That one did get ripping right there. They had their earnings this morning. That's right. And that did pop. And then the SanDisk one was looking pretty good. You're right about that, Luis Rodriguez. So there you go. And look at GMAB. It's a biotech with a PE. And let's see, Genmab right here. It is a biotech. You are not kidding about that. Michael Anthony right there. And what's it doing? It doesn't have dividends, though. I don't know, Michael Anthony. I'm surprised you're looking at it. No dividends here. GMAB, what do they do? Oh, they're a biotech company. That does look pretty good to hop up there. I'll give you that. And looks like it wants to stair step up. Has that weird look right there, but does look pretty good. So we'll have to keep an eye on your G. Let me look at it in the morning. I'll write it right next to SMX since you like that one too so much. And I know that you have a huge position in SMX. And you also like GMAB, Michael Anthony. So I'm kidding about the SMX. And Luis Rodriguez said he's convinced Trump has the mark of Cain in the Bible. The mark was a signal to others that if they harmed Cain, they would face divine punishment 7 times worse. That's pretty funny. And like him or not, you have to admit nothing like this has ever happened before, certainly not in our lifetime. People to attack him have been dropping like flies. You are right about that. They just disappear completely. Look what happened to the chick. I'm trying. What's her name? Lee. I don't even know. The attorney general that was in New York trying to mess with him, and then they dug up all that stuff on her mortgage and holy cow. And then like her niece is living at the house, and I think her niece does OnlyFans too. And it gets better and better by the moment. You can't even make this shit up, guys. So yeah, she went after him and tried to say that he inflated his company. And I mean, guys, honestly, let's face it. If you own businesses or do anything in business, you're constantly trying to get over on the IRS one way or the other. You obviously pay your taxes, but you're always just trying to, do something to try to make it a little bit of an edge for yourself. So obviously you're saying like, yeah, maybe he said his company was worth a little bit more than it was. I don't think it's that big of a deal at the end of the day. Maybe it was worth that. I mean, it's so hard to tell with evaluations like that. You could have 5 people come in and they're all going to give you a different evaluation. So you could even do that and have somebody give you a super high one and take that one, even though you should take the average of them. But again, you can do whatever you want when it comes to things like that, when it comes to business. And so, yeah, they try to like run him through the mud with all that. And then he gets in, he wins presidency. And don't you know, this chick ends up in trouble with mortgage fraud. So, how ironic is all that, guys? I mean, you can't make that shit up if you had to. Pretty wild, I must say. And yeah, and then like I said, her niece lives at the house. So she bought the house for her niece. I think she said it was gonna be a second property. So now technically if her niece doesn't live there and she lives and if her niece lives there and she doesn't live there, technically it's a rental property at that point, unless she'd put her niece on the actual mortgage, and she didn't do that with the loan. So she got a discount, or like got a savings on the loan, and that's what they nailed her on. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, just look it up. But yeah, wild stuff, whether you like them or not. But that's pretty funny. And things, what goes around comes around, guys. I always say it. So they wanted to mess with somebody. It came back to bite them all in the ass really, really bad. I'm not going to lie. So, and there you go. And why is UAMY? That's a good one right there. Michael Anthony, are you familiar with that? United States Anatomy one. That one's been beaten down there and looking pretty good. That's a metal and mining one, and all of them are looking good. Soundhound's been looking pretty good too. You're right about that. And let's see what Soundhound does. It looks pretty good to kind of continue tomorrow. I'm going to jot that one down on my list for tomorrow too. I know it's on my setup list. And Hims looks good there, Danica. I think that one tries to run back up some more tomorrow. It looks like it's trying to, down 12 cents, nothing crazy in the after hours, as you can see. Went in there pretty flat, looks pretty good. I guess the market conditions are really going to tell us what's going to happen tomorrow on a Friday. And again, our Qs went up in the after hour. Doesn't necessarily mean anything, to be honest with you. And the SPY did as well. Doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's not a bad look. Let's put it that way. So we'll have to see, and we'll be on at 7 a.m. to give it a look. But yeah, I mean, going into it, if we have to take a bet, as that's what I guess you do in the market. You take a bet and you take your best guesstimate of what you think is going to happen. I think that these things do continue to try to run up some tomorrow. Maybe it's just in the morning, like your ONDS and a lot of these guys, they were going crazy today. ASTS, that looks like it wants to continue its way up there tomorrow as well. Even like BMNR, and down a little in the after hours. But I mean, look at that thing. Holy cow, it looks great right there, guys. And again, it was running up in the after, like right towards this close, and then just came down nice and gently. And then when you look at crypto, yeah, it says it's red there. Actually, it's funny because the stock cube is really green. This says it's pulling back a little bit, but it's really not that bad. It's kind of flat, if I'd say, if anything. I'd say it's more flat than anything. But yeah, the stock cubes like kind of green. All of them are basically green, and you can see on here it's kind of red. I would call it more flat than anything. So we'll call it in the middle right there, and say that they're flat right now. So yeah, him's looking pretty good, I have to say, and a lot of these things are looking good, like your ONDS, like I was saying, and tons of these guys. Nuclear looking pretty good there going into tomorrow as well. And let's see, Open Door, we looked at that. It was up today. It looks pretty good. It's trying to crawl up. We'll see if it gets that pop through the MACD right there, Michael Anthony. And you like Pony right here, and that was up a little bit. That's actually looking pretty good. I remember we looked at it not long ago. It was probably right down here, and I remember saying the pony was going to start running. It actually started to run for real. We looked at QCLS, and that was looking good, and we had that on our list not long ago. Serve Robotics, we looked at that as well, and Rich Tech Robotics, and SMR we did not look at, but that is one to look at. Isn't that a nuclear one, possibly, SMR? So Let me write that one down real quick. SMR right here. That could be a good one for tomorrow. And let's see what CMPS is doing. Read in phase 3 trials. That actually looks good. A medical care facility. And you're right. That looks pretty good right there for CMPS. So there you go. Compass Pathways or some pathways, something like that. And there you go with them couple. Michael Anthony looking pretty good. ONDS, we definitely went through that. That's the first one on our list and on the thing. And yeah, we knocked that one out. Cowboys are still losing right there. It's 10-6. The Lions are up. 7:43 left in the second quarter. ONDS right here. I'll show you again, Michael Anthony, but that does look good. That's a drone one. We're familiar with it. We talk about it in the Discord all the time, as a matter of fact. And we were all over it today. So we had that and VRT. What's that one? Vertiv Holdings. Not looking too bad right there. What is that other one I'm trying to think of here? Luis Rodriguez, FSIV or something like that. What the heck is that one that we were looking at? I forget what the heck it is. Hold on. Shoot, I can't think of what it is. Hold on. I got to get my list out and see. FISV, that was what it was. I meant to write it down, and I forgot. So let me take a look at that one. It was down a little bit today, but still setting up. So still not looking bad right there. Probably a little healthy pullback, I would say, for FISV. And that's what the market looked like I said in the video, looking pretty good. We'll have to see what it looks like in the morning. I think that'll dictate everything here, to be completely honest with you. And yeah, we're going into the end of the first week of December. Can you guys believe it's December 5th tomorrow already? First week of December. It'll be 20 days till Christmas, guys. How crazy is that? So did you even start your Christmas shopping yet? Because it'll be here real quick. You basically, after this weekend, you'll have like 1-2 full weeks. That's about it. And then Christmas will be on a Thursday. So yeah, that's crazy, guys. So when next Thursday comes, so when the Fed hits us on Wednesday on the 10th, the very next day is December 11th. 2 weeks from there is Christmas, guys. That's insane how fast it's going to be here like this. You guys know I talk about this all the time, how fast the time flies by. It sure does. This week went by especially fast. I don't know how or why or what, if it was just me or if it was everybody, but holy cow, I feel like the whole entire week went by so fast there. Maybe because Michael Anthony missed a bunch of shows. I'm not sure. But the big bear we looked at already, we did not look at PTRN. So let's look at that pattern group. That looked like it was dipping down right there, Michael Anthony. And BWIN is the Baldwin Insurance. Not familiar with them. They were dipping down as well. We looked at your QCLS and your lift right here. This was looking so good for a while. It did take that dip. Not looking too bad there. But, of course, you sell the pops. That's what the object of the game is. And CCJ is Camco Corp. Now, that one looks good. I'll jot that down right here. CCJ looking pretty good. UEC, let's see what Uranium Energy. Now, that looks good, too, there. Now you're talking about two good ones right there, Michael Anthony. And you want to see what Pfizer looks like? That's what it looks like. Nothing too crazy. It's trying to curl up, but, again, nothing real crazy right there for Pfizer. What's Moderna? I always forget. mRNA. That's what it is. mRNA right there. Yeah, nothing too crazy with them guys right there. So there you go. Pfizer's going to squeeze very soon, looking for a pop above 29 for confirmation of a breakout for Luis Rodriguez. So there you go. And yeah, let it set up. It'll probably hit this trend line at 25 something in the high 25s. Come back down and get set up. That's when you'll see the pop, when it gets back over this, and probably towards the end of the year. That's when you'll see it, guys. That's what it looks like to me anyway. So there you go with them couple. And I think that we got everything over there. Let me check and see if I got everything over here. Let me see what's going on. And let me see. I think we got everything over there. We got to all that. Let me see if there's anything trending or anything that we missed. And let me know if you guys want to see any last minute things over here. And the Lions had the ball. It's still 10-6, second quarter, 5 something left in there. And let me just see if we missed anything over here. We probably got to it all, I'd say. SMX, Sophie, QCLS, RGTI, Sensei, Carvana. What are they up to right now? They're on there. Wasn't looking at that one. CVNA. And that that is Carvana. That was running up there getting into the top. And CADL, we've looked at this one before. I don't know what the heck they even do, to be honest with you. Candle Therapeutics, and that one's running up as well. And let's see, NN, what is that one? Next Nav, wow, that's running up pretty good too. We looked at SUGP and ALMS. Let's see what that's doing right here. Loomis, and that looks pretty good in the top right there. So interesting ones right there. A couple I've never even heard of, to be honest with you, trending right there. And that Raya, remember we were looking at this the other day? That was running up in the after hours. I saw that bad boy get cruising there. So there you go. If you were looking at that, we went over it the other day, and look at that. Bam, there it is running up. So there you are, everybody. I'd say that's a pretty good market review for this evening on a Thursday night. And we did really well in the market today. I know that. If you're in the Discord, you probably did well. Robin was even telling you guys, he said it. He said, everybody probably did good in the Discord. There you go. So again, if you want to know about the Discord or you're not in there, or you have any questions about it, feel free to shoot me a message on X at any time about anything. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you're not in the Discord, definitely think about buying yourself a little Christmas gift, because it's going to get life changing. I'm telling you, Ben made over $1 million this year in the Discord. So and we're all going to be doing it. And I'm telling you, because we're just going to be trading these things smart, locking in our profits, locking them rocking and rolling them over, and just trading smart and doing it the right way. And yeah, we'll all just crush the market. You compound it, and once you start getting certain numbers, it gets pretty big. It gets crazy. I've done it so many times, guys, and I know I'm going to do it pretty big in 2026. So if you just want to follow along and have fun with us, we do it every single day, twice a day in the Discord live. And I'm going to start posting all of them too as well. And that way the people that aren't able to look at it live, that are just, looking at the Discord and not watching the actual shows and stuff like that, still have access to all the calls and what's going on and all that good stuff. So we'll make it even better for you guys. We always try to step it up and make it better as it goes along. Can't make it perfect at the beginning. So always trying to make it better. RX right here, it is looking good. Recursion therapy, pharmaceuticals or something, looking pretty damn healthy right there. Luis Rodriguez, so not too bad on that biotech, like Michael Anthony was saying, some biotech ones running along. So there you go with the market. That's what's going on, guys. So thanks for hanging out and tuning in tonight. Thanks for shooting some messages over here and being a part of the show. Of course, Michael Anthony and Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel, Janica, and of course, Robin and Joseph Levy and Asian Joe Lee and so many other people that tune in, hang out. And those of you that don't even participate on the stream, thank you also for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. SMX has a falling knife in its back pocket. You fear. I agree. I think it could pop up in the early morning, and it might be a great one to put some puts on. Does it even have options? I have no idea, to be completely honest with you. And it does not have options, so you'd have to try to short it down. And that could be pretty wild. But yeah, it looks like it's trying to run up. Obviously, it's running up in the after hour, so you can. Right there. And looks like it could try. You can see your 20 and 50. You're trying to meet. I don't think they ever even get met up right there. It's just trying to push it up a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on that first thing in the morning, but watch it early. You know you will be. And it would be nice for D-Lo keeps going up, being Xmas to 15 to 17 for a breakout that never drop under 12. And that's your D-Lo. You love this thing. D-Local Limited right here. It's at 1347. And let's see, it never dropped under 12. You're right. It probably won't, because you got a good support line at 1262 right there. That probably was your bottom right there at that 1216. I agree. And you are going to start getting into that channel and working your way up towards the 14 area. I will agree with you there. So you're still in that D-Lo. That closed near 1350 where you bought 1,000 shares and then bought so much under 13. So there you go. That is what Michael Anthony likes to do. He's buying D-Lo over here on the D-Lo. He was not telling. He was like, "Shh, don't tell anyone I'm buying D-Lo over here." That's why he shops D Local Limited. He keeps it on the D-Low. So there you go, Michael Anthony with DLO. Appreciate that insight. Now that you ran it up and we have no idea. Now you've been talking about it for a few days and we know all about it. So thanks. You did not keep it on the D-Low, actually, and worried about Ben's Bull $10. I know. Tomorrow, you guys got a bunch of them $10 calls that expire tomorrow, and we'll see. I mean, Bull looks good. I don't know if it's going to get that pop all the way up there. Maybe it will run a little in the morning right there. It's just got to get up to there. It could. Anything could happen. Obviously, we know that in the markets, that's for sure. But like I said, it kind of depends on how this market wants to open. It's hard to tell exactly. The Qs did run up in the after hours, so we'll take it that they looked pretty decent. They had a little red candle there, not looking bad. I guess we'll see what happens early in the morning, huh? And then we'll see as it opens up. That's for sure. As it gets closer to 9:30. So that's what the market looks like this evening. The video is good, and like I said, the stock cube is green for the crypto, and this is barely red. I mean, like I said, these are not looking bad at all. It doesn't look like it wants to go down too much. I don't think for Bitcoin, Ethereum, or anything like that. So you could see them, and if they bounce up some more in the morning, I would assume the market will probably want to follow it, and it has been doing it. So that is what it looks like there, Michael Anthony. And what did you say? You could run up, the line where 16 since has so many buys, then strong buy with the price target from 19, and we have all of December to run. And I'm pretty sure he's still talking about D-Lo. I'm not sure though, to be honest with you. Are you still talking about D-Lo? I have no idea. So there you go, everybody. That is what the market looks like on our Thursday evening. And again, we do this show every Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. And then we do our pre-market show at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. D-Lo. There you go. Look at the fundamentals. I've been looking at them. I've been looking at these technicals for like 20 minutes, I feel like, Michael Anthony. It does look pretty good. Like I said, I have a feeling you're going to get to that 14 area, work your way in this channel, and then you're saying to get up to there. You will eventually get up there. It's just not happening overnight. That's all. But you're in it for the long run, and you're taking your time. So you're perfect. You're a good shot to get to your target and do exactly what you want to do there, Michael Anthony. So I like your game plan and how you execute. It's the exact way to try to do it. So, yeah, there you go. I like it. And anyone else that wants to join Michael Anthony with D-Lo on the DL or on the D-Lo or DL, that's D Local right there. You can do that. We won't even know about it. You guys can hang out together with D-Lo and have his bunch of shares there, and I watch it. It will go up. I agree with Michael Anthony. I'm not disagreeing one bit. So, yeah, slow move to keep climbing to 16. That's 17 is where you think it's going. And look at the market cap is big. What is the market cap on this bad boy? I have no idea. Hold on, I got to go down and look. 4.4 billion, we'll call it that. So that is a pretty big market cap right there. I'll give you that. So there you go, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that fun time of market review right there, going through a bunch of stock charts. We had 30 of them, I think, for the laptop travel list. I don't even know how many are. So that was 30 right there. And if I added 2, and then I added, that would be what, 32 and 34, 36, 30. And so there's probably like 80 that we go through every night on them 2 lists. And so, yeah, we definitely do like over 120 stock tickers a night, I would say, about that. So there you go. And the fear and greed index is almost neutral. What's the overnight things look like, Luis Rodriguez? Let me look real quick on the Yahoo Finance. I'll check it out real fast and let you know what the overnights look like. Hold on, the futures. That's what I was thinking. Your S&P futures, S&P's up 0.15. Dow's up 0.04, and your NASDAQ is up 0.28 in the overnight. So that looks pretty good right there. Not bad for them. And there you go, everybody. So thanks again for tuning in. And be sure to follow along on X, Instagram, YouTube, and hit the like button on your way out of here. Show everybody that you like the show if you enjoy it and learn anything, and or even just have a good time. And yeah, there you go, everyone. So that's what we had for the tonight, and I'll let you know what the game's doing real quick. And the Lions are winning 17-6 over the Cowboys. So if you're not a Cowboys fan, you can go enjoy that game right now. The Lions are up, and it is 2 minutes left in the second quarter. So you can get the 2-minute warning there, go into halftime, and then watch the entire second half and enjoy that this evening. So there you are, everybody. Thank you, Michael Anthony. And what do you have? You like to see ABEO run this $10 since the price target is $21.75 by FinViz. That has $205 million in cash, an approved drug. They have that 3 hospitals used, and 50 more could start treating people. I don't know. You guys read that. I'll look at ABEO as we head out of here. You try to make sense of what he wrote, because I can't. And he wants to see it run the $10. So you just got to get over that 505 area, Michael Anthony, and then you can try to get cruising there. So there you go. And that is what ABEO is looking like. A Beaneo. I don't even know what the heck that is. And who care? And look at, what is it? SWBI. Isn't that Smith and Wesson? We just looked at it the other night. Remember, I was just saying Smith and Wesson was looking really good the other night. I just looked at it. I promise you, we had just looked at that one. BFH right here, 9 straight green candle. Holy shit, you're right. Bread finance. We were saying that thing would make you some bread, Luis Rodriguez. Did we not say that? Like, how many days ago was that? I totally forget. So yeah, that thing was crazy. And Slap. Slap the ask on your way out there. I'm like, Slap, is that one? I didn't even know that was a stock ticker. Slap the ask on your way out, traders. You meant slap the like button, you meant to say Laptop Travel. So there you go. And look at the news. And when Laptop Travel's list is that long, you know the markets are getting healthy. Absolutely. I agree 100%. So, and there is nothing for Slap. I didn't think there was, but that's pretty funny. So yeah, slap that like button on your way out of there, guys. And we will see you guys at 7 a.m. So go ahead and enjoy the rest of the football game. The Cowboys and the Lions. The Lions are beating up on the Cowboys a little bit, at least right now. 17-6, and in the first half. You enjoy that. Enjoy the rest of your night. Get some rest, and we'll be back at 7 a.m. Laptop Travel will be in the Discord at 4 a.m. to see what the 4 a.m. Warriors want to do. It's like a bull bear barometer right there, huh? So there you go. Yeah, it sure is. When Laptop Travel's list is like dead, you know that the markets are kind of bearish. That's when I can't find any either. So it is kind of interesting, you know. And then when they all get setting up, you know, you can't even trade them all, but you know the markets are about to get ripping. It's the laptop indicator, and Smith and Wesson report earnings. They certainly do. Michael Anthony, like I said, we were just looking at it the other night. It was looking good, but I don't even like to play them earnings. Oh, did they do it today? Oh, they had their earnings today. I guess they beat their earnings. It looks pretty good. And that is not looking bad for your Smith & Wesson. But, yeah, we were just looking at it the other day. It was down here, I think, in this channel, or like right down there, getting set up for the earnings. I do remember that. So there you go with your Smith & Wesson. So enjoy your evening, everybody. Go enjoy the football game. We'll be on at 7 a.m. Come hang out in the morning, see what the market's doing, find out what's going to be popping. Then we'll be on in the Discord and telling you what's happening. And you guys can hit a bunch of big options and poppers as well. And we'll keep on cruising and building our accounts together and having a good time. So thanks again for tuning in. Slap that like button on your way out of here and enjoy your night. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good night, everybody.